agree to that. The old, I tell that all the time when I do my training seminars is, here's a story from our family. And every time my mom for Thanksgiving, she cut the top of the ham off. And they would say, why'd you do that? He goes, well, Grandma always does it. So, Grandma, why'd you cut the top of the ham off? And she goes, well, Great-Grandma did it. Go to Great-Grandma and go, why'd you cut the top of the ham off? She goes, oh, because it doesn't fit in my oven. So I had to cut it off so it could fit inside my oven. And and that happens all the time. If you don't know the reason or the origin for the rule, you're going to follow it blindly for no reason.
Yeah.
So whenever I do my consulting seminars, my mentorships, I always tell people, why do you do it this way? And they go, what do you mean? I tell them that exact story.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens to the elbows on the table. It's not needed anymore. Oh, table didn't fall over. We're good now. But it's just kind of one of those etiquette things that goes through.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first lesson at the Odyssey was get up on time, get dressed correctly, and stand at X location for the bus to get picked up.
Even though Rafa was late.
Yep. And he was 10 minutes late there, and he was trying to put everything put together, but it was must be on time at all costs. And they say they picked up at 6 o'clock. We had to be on X line at 5:45.
Yep.
Now they ended up showing around 6:15, so we're all kind of scratching our heads saying, "Hey," but that was the first one.
Yeah, it was the very first time. So.
Yep. But showing up on time, that's sadly lost in a lot of people's society. I just flew to Florida for a consulting gig over the last 2 days, and we must be there at 10 o'clock. The two people that we were meeting with were both there at 9:50 standing up front of the lobby. That's one of those things right off the bat. You got to learn that you have to be there on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times you say you're going to meet your friends at 10 and they show up around 10:15, 10:20?
Quite a bit. Like almost every time now.
Yeah, and it's sad.
It is.
And what they're basically saying is my time is more valuable than yours. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. They're literally saying my time is more valuable than yours, and I'll get there when I want to.
Yeah.
I as much as I hate to say this, but it's true. I've actually gotten rid of friends because of this. I've literally said, if you don't value my time, I can't value you as a person. And so after the 5th or 6th time, I just kind of stopped calling them. I don't say, you're not my friend. I walk away. But I just kind of, I stopped calling them. I stopped hanging out. I got better things to do if they're not going to value my time as well.
Yeah.
So, but then the Odyssey, we stand up straight, ties, and then we had some good presentations at the Odyssey, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was funny.
It was like a crash course on how to present.
Yeah. No, we had that. We had the presentation, and then good presentations on, do more than what's necessary.
Yeah.
When you walk into a room and you see something on the ground, what do you do?
Pick it up.
Exactly. And put it in its place or throw it in the trash. When you go to throw trash away and you pull it out and the bins are full,
Take out the trash.
Take out the trash, replace the liner. Those are basic things that are going to aid and help you in life because you know what the next steps are.
Yeah, pretty much leave it better than how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the golden rule. We would have been better than what it was. And so that way, people are going to, appreciate you being around.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to take advantage of the situation.
Of course.
But you're also going to be there. And then on the Odyssey, and this is the part that I very much enjoyed with Odyssey, in the afternoon, what did we do?
First day or second day?
First day.
We went out to the park.
Went to the park.
And we did some boxing and we...
So walk us through, the first one was boxing.
Yeah, it was boxing.
Now you guys did some training for this beforehand?
Yeah, we did. Me and Gunnar we would box each other at home, for 10 minutes almost every day. So it helped a lot.
I think it did help a lot, yeah.
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 Because you could definitely tell who boxed before and who didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And you could definitely see oh, this is their first time doing that.
Yeah, like some people would breathe and some people would hold their breath.
Yeah.
Be
and maybe toast after 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta breathe, and that's what everybody gets scared of, they say. But that's kind of a moral of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you stop and you pause in life? You can't breathe. Yeah. So how did going into this? You guys had some fears and anxiety going into the Odyssey, right?
I didn't.
Kind of not.
You didn't?
Not really.
No.
He was like, oh, he said that it was gonna be really easy, and he wasn't worried at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wasn't scared to death, but I wasn't like, oh, this is too easy.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was gonna be a little hard, at least. So yeah.
Walk me through the boxing.
It was definitely weird boxing someone else different than Titus.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so used to what he does and his patterns and how he moves, and then
You guys have been lumping on each other for the last better part of a decade anyway.
well, yeah.
You guys are used to it.
Yeah.
after a while, verbal turns into physical. You guys start lumping each other up. It's kind of normal. You guys get
Yeah,
that. But
it is.
now you're boxing someone you've never seen before.
Yeah,
It was
it's
so much different.
so different. I just put my hands up and I kind of just took almost every punch he threw because I don't know what to do, what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was gonna throw one, multiple. I didn't know
Yeah.
how he was gonna move. So I kind of just took them all, and then when there was an opening, I just threw whatever. But I felt so awkward. Rather than when I'm doing with him, I feel flowy and I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do what he does, like counter that.
Yeah. At first, I was like, wait, I don't know this guy's move at all. And then after a second, I learned them. So then I started to do like counter moves for him, and then it helped out quite a bit.
No, I didn't. I kind of just balled up and I just took everything. He wasn't punching that hard though, so.
But still, though, no, you went from something that you thought in your mind was one way,
Yeah.
and turned out to be a completely different way.
Yeah.
And you guys had to adapt.